Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you read that correctly, Spider-Rex. There is a story that details the origin of Spider-Rex, and it is amazing. I love this story. So here's the thing. This is part of the new Edge of Spider-Verse, and just when you thought the Spider-Men had encountered a threat that would lay waste to the Spider-Verse and change the landscape of the Spider-Man mythos forever, here we go again. Another one. So here's the thing. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with this, Edge of Spider-Verse originally got its start as part of the original Spider-Verse event. And the idea behind Edge of Spider-Verse is that it basically just told a series of small stories inside of a larger comic. Quite literally, the Edge of Spider-Verse comics are basically what like Action Comics was back in the 1940s when Superman was first introduced, or Marvel Premiere, or Marvel Presents, or any one of those kind of stories. It's an anthology series. And so what this does is it basically picks up on Earth 66, and we're just told it was a long time ago. Of course, Earth 66 being an alternate reality. And what you end up having going on here, and it's actually kind of funny, is you basically have Spider-Rex, and you have what really just looks like a pterodactyl version of the Green Goblin, who are effectively fighting. Now, it wasn't always this way, because what it does is it gives us a flashback, and it tells us at some previous point in time, you basically had the pterodactyl, who we can call Norman Osborn by all intents and purposes in this story, right? The Green Goblin. But basically you had Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, who was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you had Peter Parker, who was basically a pterodactyl. And what ended up happening is that as the two of them were fighting, and in fact, Norman was going to kill Peter Parker, like literally eat him, Norman gets hit in the face with a meteor that has spiders on it, radioactive spiders most likely, and the result is that not only does it cause them to switch bodies, they get costumes because, you know, comic book logic, it doesn't have to make sense. It's not a real story. So one of the things that happens is that with them switching bodies, Peter Parker, of course, getting his Spider-Man costume, his Spider-Rex costume, ends up meeting with his Uncle Ben and Aunt May, who of course are basically pterodactyls. And they're kind of like, I mean, it's okay. You know, it's cool. You turned into a giant, you know, dinosaur that would consume us under any normal circumstance. And then basically Norman goes back to his henchmen, which look like velociraptors more than anything else. And that's kind of how things have been ever since. And so with the two of them basically butting heads again, it's kind of a funny thing because unlike what you would expect with there being some sort of grand scheme, the reality is that Norman's just pissed because he doesn't have his body anymore. Not only that, Peter's discovering his powers as he does this, right? So check this out. So Peter Parker overcomes Norman by basically slapping him into a tree, and then he webs up his henchmen. I just want to point out here in this story, this is a story, it's going to be a short video. This is a story where basically you have a Spider-Man version of a Tyrannosaurus Rex that's shooting webbings out of his hands. And I gotta be honest, one part of me looks at that and like, this is amazing. And then another part of me looks at it and it's like, this is horrifying, because seeing a Tyrannosaurus Rex just running down the road, shooting webbing at people, it sounds horrifying, right? It sounds like something out of the No Sleep subreddit, but I kind of want to see it happen at the same time. Not only that, he shoots his webbing into a tree and swings away. This is a Tyrannosaurus Rex swinging away using webbing. Now, the crazy thing about this is that, of course, Norman Osborn comes chasing after him, but because he shoots his webbing into a branch, the branch isn't strong enough to hold him. So basically, he falls down, he lands on Norman Osborn, which basically seems to kill Norman Osborn as well as a couple of innocent dinosaurs. And ultimately, he learns the lesson that with great power must also come great responsibility. And that's the story. That's literally it. I told you, I love this story. I love this so much. It's so perfect, right? It's just silly and goofy and perfect. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace.